Right, we're back again for another look around the Wirral in the 70s. And you come back again. That's brilliant. Tell your friends. So let's go and have a look. Now we've got a few comments from previous videos to go and have a look at as well. And we're going to have a look at some other things as well. So let's go straight in to your comments. Right, so here's one of them from the part 4 video from Francesca. I think she's commented before, so welcome back again. Could you look at Milner Road in Heswall in a future video? There used to be a council yard there until the late 80s with a massive shed structure for storing vehicles, which is now Cherry Tree Mews. Plus the Stack pub, which has a huge car park into fields backing onto Downham Drive. Good show. Let's go in and onto the map and have a look at it. Right, so I zoom in to Heswall here. We're going to look for Milner Road. What we'll do is we'll bring in, there's Downham Road. We'll bring in the current map and have a look exactly for it. Okay, so we've gone onto a modern map. Here is Milner Road. And Cherry Tree Mews is down here somewhere. Oh, there it is, right there. So we'll pull in the 70s map and see if we can see what she remembers. Let's have a look. So let's take it across there. Right, well there it is. We'll see how far we can zoom in. As you know, the quality is not great when you get really zoomed in on these, but you can definitely see it's a bit blurry there. But there's Milner Road coming here. Now this must be the building that you're talking about, right here. So it is there in the early 70s. There it is right there. The other part of your question, so the other one was the Slack pub. Here's a picture of the Slack pub. I remember this myself. It was demolished around 2016. So we'll have a look at that. Backs onto Downham Drive. There it is, a bigger version there for you there. But now, it even says here on this photograph here, it says it's been replaced with sand and gardened townhouses. It said Milner Road leading into Barnston, once known as Slack Road. The Barlow House in the Slack in the 19th century Heswall was left in what is now the pub's car park. And that was demolished in 1981. Slack derives from the Old Norse slacky or hollows, a shallow depression, evidence of Viking influencing in the Wirral. So there you go. So let's go and have a look for that as well. I remember it, I'm just going to try and find it again. So where was it? On Sandon Gardens Townhouses. So yeah, it's just down the road, isn't it, from Cherry Tree Mews, where that one was. And this is the Slack area here. So this is just after it had been knocked down. Have a look at that. Clearly the area that it was. This is just after it was knocked down and before the new one was built. So you can see the progression now. Let's go back to the 70s and have a look at it then. Yeah, so not very clear in the 70s, but you can see it there. But let's go into Google Earth and have a look at it there. So here we are on Google Earth 3D view. You can see the Cherry Tree Gardens here. And that's where that big container was there. This is the area here of the Slack pub right here, just labelled as a car park. Now in of course Google Earth we can go back. So here's the most up-to-date image that we have. This was in April 2021, and there is the new building there. So that's the Slack pub, which is now gone, and these new apartments have arrived. We'll go into Google Earth. We'll drag the man down and have a look. There we go. So there is the new apartment. So we can go back. Let's go down the road a bit. So there's roughly the same view as the Slack pub picture here. Quite a bit of a change. Good shout that, to have a look at some of the differences there on Milner Road. So here it is here. So now on this one here we can see the Slack pub with its car park there. It looks like it's closed up and all boarded up. So I don't know when this particular imagery was taken from. That's definitely the Slack pub. If you look at the chimney and the roof there, there's the picture of it there, the chimney and the roof, and the car park off to the left is exactly the same. So that is that. Okay, so another one we've got to look at here, Bernard Cook, sorry. If it says here, have you anything on Thurston? It said, I can go back to the late 60s before the park was built. We used to camp next to the Shore Cottage, and an upstand about 50 yards along, but it's now gone. I remember the Longboat Cafe, and then a Canadian buying it. I camped at the weekends, even in bad weather, where the gun emplacements were cosy, if not a bit smelly, but great days, more stories going on. So let's go in and have a look at Thurston and the country park that we know now, and have a look what it was like then. Let's go and have a look. So here it is. So this is basically, it may have been starting to get put together as a country park at this point. That's where the old station is here. That lake, of course, is still there. None of the visitor centre is built. I think the gun emplacements are up here somewhere. The caravan park is over there, which is great. The Shore Cottage is down here. Where the gun emplacements up on here, weren't they? So it looks like it's just starting to be made. Obviously into the Wirral Way as we know it now, and it look like that's where the car park is now for it. So that's an interesting look. Of course, that big road is still there, which takes you up into Thurston Village, and up to the Cottage Loaf. Is the Cottage Loaf there? I think that building's a Cottage Loaf. A little pub there. Not too sure. It doesn't look very big. But yeah, there is Thurston down there, and the I wonder where the campsite was he was talking about. Did a camp on here? Or of course the caravan site up along here. It looks quite new at that point, doesn't it? So yeah, good shout to look at that. Another one from John here. Interesting to do anything on the Stoughton Quarry Tramway. Now we have done a Stoughton Quarry Tramway video a couple of years ago. It's still on YouTube. You can go and find it. But let's go and have a look at it now. Or when I say now, I mean 1970. So this was the quarry area down here. And as said in the video, you can actually see a bit more. The actual tramway goes right up Quarry Road here from Port Sunlight Station, and you can see how the road curves. It goes straight. You can still see a line, can't you, in the grass? It goes straight up here, straight over here, and then into the quarry. Round about here, there's part of the quarry still there. But we do have a proper little video on that. You can find it on YouTube if you search for Stoughton Quarry Railway. You'll get it if you search for that. So that is a good watch. But we didn't look at it in the 1970 overhead picture at the time. So that was a good call to look at it now. Another call on the stadium that we found in Rock Ferry. So Lee says the stadium in Rock Ferry was called Bedford Park Athletics Ground. It's shown on one of the OS maps. So yeah, Bedford Park Athletics Ground. Didn't know that, so that's a good shout. And also Paul says, could you have a look at the video of the Oak and Eldon Gardens on Price Street and what it's like today. We already have in one of the previous episodes of the Wirral in the 70s. Can't remember which one. It's on. This is now 5, so it's not in part 4, I don't think. It was one of the earlier ones, so go back and have a look at them, and you'll find it back there. So while we're over this way, we're going to go in and have a look at the Oval athletics ground. We're thinking of doing a video on the Oval, Chariots of Fire, etc, etc. But here it is in the 70s. Interesting to see. There's the football pitch in the athletics ground. Quite clear to see there. Now, where the swimming baths is, it's not there. The football pitch is there. Do you remember those football pitches where the swimming baths is now, and the ski dry slope is just down there? The school is still here. Things like that. There's the entrance to it here. But that's significantly different. So that must have been built. When was the Oval, as we know it now, built? Was it in the late 70s? Something like that. Early 70s, it's not there. So it must be the late 70s, early 80s, possibly, of the Oval. So what do you think about making a Chariots of Fire video? We could go down and do some on-site filming of it and see what we could do with that. So look out for that in the future. Otherwise, check back for another one of these videos pretty soon. See you soon.